Hands up. Hands up. Izo kemre. Asawana. Asawana. Agbabua. Let me start. Being a test of the speech delivered on behalf of all well-meaning Phase 1 leaders of the Amnesty Programme by General Lucky Asawana, the well-oiled vicious campaign of calumny, blackmail, scandalous mischief against the coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Programme, PAP, Chief Dr. Dennis Otuaro, by disrupted, unbridled, clannish, envious, and jealous elements who were liabilities to the program. Greetings to all our guests present here, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We have come to pass a warning. Cease the unwarranted attack against Chief Dr. Otuaro, a warning to all. We have observed with utter dismay the unwarranted attack and campaign of calumny, sustained negative propaganda since the appointment of Chief Dr. Otuaro by unreaction forces, powered mongers, influencers, peddlers, and their agents who have held the amnesty program by the jugulars over the years. This bad orchestration plan was recently in full enthroned by a range tag group led by one Ode Ituno, launched a calculated, unwarranted barrage of distrib and investigative at the person of Chief Dr. Otuaro in a sustained effort at getting rid of him from office as the coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Programme. Such a shamed display of moral and deficiency is not only societally apprehensive or barbaric, it was an affront to decency and a subtitle invitation to anarchy, with its attendants destabilized potentials in the Niger Delta region. A clear, deficient group led by one Itunu Ode and his paid protesters who are not part of the amnesty program is a sad reminder of a Nigeria suffering drought of role model. We, the leaders of the Association of Well-Meaning Phase 1 Ex-Militant Leaders, peopled by notable ex-militant leaders across all ethnic nationalities who are in the Presidential Amnesty Programme, have found it very necessary to address this fourth estate of the realm, the ever-vibrant Nigerian press today on topical regional issues which have to do with the office of the Presidential Amnesty Programme. Currently occupied by eroded Chief Dr. Dennis Burutu Otuaro. When Chief Otuaro was commendably appointed by the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take charge of the then dying amnesty program, his assignments were clearly spelled out: revive and breathe life into the intervention agency to drive human material development in the region and to empower the youth population of the region by building their capacity to be employed in the competitive global employment market. As soon as he took over from General Njomu Mbari, Chief Dr. Otuaro, being a technocrat and a top-notch administrator who has cut a niche for himself in human administration in the public sector, he rolled out his arsenal, pushed the program in the heritage liability, who were drained the glory of the agency. Chief Dr. Dennis Otuaro appointment came behind previous appointment of coordinators of the program. Notably, Rivers State has produced 2 coordinators, namely Professor Charles Dokubo and Colonel Dikio, while Bayelsa has produced 3 persons, namely Timi Alaive and General Poboro with General Indiomu Barry. Ondo has produced 1 person of Honorable Kingsley Kuku since the establishment of the PAP. As it is, Chief Dennis Otuaro stands as the first coordinator who is flying the Delta State flag. And this appointment is cleanish elements like General Boyloaf and General Ajube, aka Shoot Aside, and their co-confederant won't allow for peace and reason of deep-rooted corruption in their veins. They want a more malleable characters permanently from their states who they can bully into submission for their inferior demand. This has been the practice over the years, and we are saying enough is enough. They want perpetually on the destiny of the young ones who must grow. Boyloaf and Shoot Aside must told in clear terms to stop stalking anarchy in the region now. The pipeline contract awarded to Ajube, what is using to proceed to fund rebellious and building a legion of rebels against constituted authority. And it should be termed immediately. The two Boyloaf and Ajube must be truly investigated by the national security apparatus, lest they plug the nation into another round of crisis. The Odu, Ajube, and Boyloaf sponsored those whose job it is to scope information and feed same into the maze of their untouchable godfathers, who live perpetually in slush funds. The errant boys were plucked from the system, thereby starving them of inside sabotage. They were in the form of self-claimed contractors, idle staffs, who must planted individuals when they had the opportunity to do so, to monitor report backs to their masters, who are financier, orchestration, and executioner of the attack against Chief Dennis Otuaro, lifting the existing program from ages, long decades. To this group of persons, nothing can satisfy their criminal urge except sharing the budget of the program with them, awarding multiple contracts and paying them upfront. Foreign and abandoned with impunity, they see themselves as the owner of this program. To this person, scholarship training of the youth and persons of the Niger Delta region is not their concern. Neither the prompt payment of the ex-agitators, their interests. Carrying out mandate of developing human capacity, not their bargains, but allowing rational elements to loot and influence the program to eat bone marrow in their priority. Yeah. The higher protesters at the National Assembly recently, led by one mischief are not beneficiary of the program. It goes to show how desperate their sponsors are. They are blinded by their love for corruption and see the amnesty program as their ATM machine. Yeah. Thousands of beneficiaries are in the university undergoing life-changing programs. Otuaro has been able to make us realize that prompt payment of beneficiaries of the amnesty program is not impossible. He has widened the scope of the program for inclusiveness, particularly the women of the region, who currently undergo empowerment programs on this technocrat, and a beacon of hope for the less privileged within the PAP. We know that most ex-militants who see themselves as the owner of this program are currently crying wolf because Chief Dennis Otuaro decided to right the wrong of the past by standing against corruption in slot allotments. Most individuals to camp owners have thousands of slots, deservedly, whereas some don't have, or being shortchanged by their so-called masters who pocket box money meant for their boys, at the detriment of peace and tranquility in the region. They are the whalers of today. The slot racketeers, profiteers, and the sponsors of this pocket badly organized protest against Chief Dr. Dennis Otuaro. They are blackmailers. They are the influencers of Otuaro Must Go campaign. The current management of the PAP has stamped its feet on the ground against corruption because the program must succeed under Otuaro. This administration is demolished that enormous sense of entitlement developed over the years by the foot soldiers of corruption who have refused to uplift but choose to crawl permanently on the ground in PAP. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are saying here that enough is enough.
Asawana, Ex-Millitants,
We know those criminals who now assume conscience of people. We know their names include Ode and Tunu, who is not part of the amnesty program, one of the jobbers, blackmailers of due process, who parade as the leader of unknown group, Niger Delta Liberation, and Ex-Militant Forum, a group enrolled together by the slot thieves and fake contractors undermining Chief Dennis Otuaro-led management of the PAP. To this end, we are saying those disrupted and unbridled elements must stop dragging Otuaro's integrities to the mud. For want of handout, we shall take this no more. The security agencies cannot fold their hands aloft while those criminals are stalking violence in the incitement of the youth in the Niger Delta region. Silence in this case is no longer golden. The National Security Advisor, the President, and Security Advisor Enuri Rubado, the Director General of DSS, the Inspector General of Police, and the Defense Intelligence Agencies and other stakeholders in the security agency architecture of our country must tame these growing monsters of blackmailers, inciting and seducing campaign of colony. Destruction of colony brought by characters who have weaponized protests to drive their criminals' desires. Ours is a wake-up call to the security apparatus. They should go all out for those conspirators who have vowed to put down President Tinubu administration by inciting violence in the Niger Delta. We shall take those perilous campaigns against Otuaro no more. The careers campaigners of evil must be stopped. Nobody will give them free money. No more free lunch anywhere. The pap has stopped being a cash cow. It is now positioned for excellence within the global space. To this end, having called on the security agencies to consider the imperative of protecting public office holders from lanchonats, profiteers, racketeers, and thieves, seekers of sludge, fund conflict entrepreneurs, gold diggers, and common criminals. We expect a timeous response and imperative actions from our gatekeepers.
Asawana! Asawana! Tasmada!
Etunu and his cohort must be made to prove their allegation against Chief Dr. Dennis Otuaro with watertight evidence, lest be thought never to attempt to destroy the image of a man who has built an impeachable integrity for himself over the years. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should discountenance the bitterness from those who seek to sink the amnesty office by the grant of criminal patronage by the current management of Chief Dr. Otuaro has removed that feeding bottles of corruption from their mouth forever. There is no going back to this day when miscreants walk into the amnesty office and live with millions of naira for doing nothing other than servicing indolence and criminalities. Chief Dennis Otuaro has come to stay, and the amnesty program is heading to the sky above. You either grow with the program, accept realities, or be left behind. Should the security, health, and formation refuse to tempt those involved in stalking the attack against Chief Dennis Otuaro, we shall not play the ostrich again. A word is enough for the wise. Ladies and gentlemen, suffice to say, this our position, and we shall no stone unturned to get to the root of all this avoidable attack. Thanks and God bless. Signed on behalf of Phase 1 ex-militant leaders are the names under. First, General Asawana Lucky from Bayelsa. General Nathaniel from Bayelsa. General Aroni, the incoming national Phase 2 president, Phase 1 president from Delta State. General Wisin Agbare, Delta State. General Meshi Ajube, Imo State. General Pere Ajuna, Edo State. General Awe, Delta State. General Shibike Emmanuel, Abia State. General Boma Obori, Bayelsa State. And General Simon Sime Nison, Edo State. General Douglas Otokolo, Bayelsa State. And General Godwin Ikori from Edo State. These are the people that signed this document. There are many that our names are not here. So we are here to stand and to defend the good work of Chief Dr. Otuaro has been doing since he assumed office, as the administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Programme. This is our submission. Thank you.